this is Mary with 90 Day Fiance, and I'm here with Domenick on the Domenick Naughty Show.
What is your current status with Jeffrey?
Pass.
You can't say, but you guys may or may not be together.
Pass.
Were you on Jeffrey's tell-all?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you were on the tell-all I hosted, and those questions are going to be answered on the tell-all. So she cannot talk about it right now. So when I interviewed Varya, she told me that she apologized to you, and you did not accept her apology. Is that true?
That is true. You have to remember when that was happening and when she apologized, that was just hours after she showed up at the door. I didn't say anything to her. Obviously, you guys saw it. I didn't say anything to her when I left. I was still stunned. I was still in a state of shock. I was still pissed off. And the last thing that I wanted to do was make friends. Like, I wanted her to hear me. She was the one yelling and screaming and whatever at the, at the door. I had time to build up some anger. I was not ready to accept that apology.
So that was just a few hours after she showed up at the door. This was not a whole different day.
No, this was just within a few hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she sat down. It sounded like, now, how many times so it was just too soon is what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. It was a day.
It was the same. Yeah. So you were pretty upset with her. And then how many times did they go over that scene? Because I know that a lot of people have been telling us that they shoot the same conversation like 10 times. I mean, what we saw.
Not that one. We didn't. We did one time and that was it. We were pretty much just going back and forth for a while. Yeah, but we did not shoot that any more than one time because I was too mad to even want to listen to her. And, she still had emotions too. And I didn't even watch it. So I don't know what they showed you, what they didn't show you. But she gets up and walks away and she's just done. And at that point, because like I said, I wanted her to hear what I had to say. And she just got up and walked off. Like, she didn't want to hear what I had to say at all. It was all about her. And I'm just not that person. You come to the door, you're the one who's intruding, and you're not going to sit there and listen to me? No, sis. I don't think so.
So when did she apologize, though? Because she said it was not shown on TV. Like,
okay, I didn't know that. She did apologize during that conversation. So I didn't know that they didn't show that. But she did apologize. She sat down and said, that's one of the reasons why I even went to the bar that night. I was invited. People think that I wasn't. I just showed up. No, originally we were all hanging out with our friends. That's why I went to the bar. So, and then of course, she was like, I want to apologize. I want to talk to you. We need to have a conversation. And I was like, all right, I'll hear you out, but you're going to listen to me too, which she didn't do, but whatever. I mean, I get it.
So she said sorry, and you said what? I don't accept your apology?
Pretty much. I'm like, I'm not ready for that right now. I said, you're going to hear what I have to say. She said things that she wanted to say, and it just got ugly.
Are you still friends with Jeffrey? Like, do you guys still hang out? I don't know. We don't know if you're together or not, but are you guys still friends? And do you still talk with Jeffrey?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. So now Varya and Jeffrey have both come on this live, and they've both kind of vaguely discussed, if they're together, if they get married, potential wedding plans. So if Jeffrey and Varya are still together and they wanted you at the wedding, would you be willing to attend?
Of course. I don't know why not. Like I said, I've been in Jeffrey's life for a long time. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other if that was to happen. I mean, I would cheer him on and wish him nothing but the best. That's just what you're supposed to do. And that's a nice thing to do. Absolutely. I want nothing but happiness for him. And I think that's whatever that may mean. And if he's going to walk down the aisle with her and save his vows and do all of the things and make sure that it lasts forever, then I want that for him. So of course, I would be his right there wishing him the best.
Would you be the maid of honor?
Oh God, no.
No. Okay, you're not going to be in the wedding party, but you are willing to attend if they got married.
Right, yes, absolutely.
So, I will ask this viewer question. Are you dating anyone? And if so, can you tell us who it is?
Pass.
Pass. Okay. So we don't know. It might be Jeff, might not, but you're not going to say if you're dating anyone at all right now.
No, I'm not going to say. I want to. There are parts of my life that I do want to keep private,
Yeah.
um, and for obvious reasons, that one is going to have to stay private for a little bit longer.
Well, let's clear this up. So reports have surfaced of your arrest in 2013 for domestic violence with your boyfriend, who said you scratched him and bit him on the nose, arm, and chest. So that came out via Starcasm, I think, this week. So what is your side to this story?
So my side is that's in the past, and we're leaving it there.
Are you guilty of that?
I'm not commenting on it. I'm sorry. It's in the past. We're leaving it right where it lies.
Okay. All right. So uh, do you have any inside information on Jeffrey's domestic abuse charges?
You're
And
damn right.
what, what's that?
I said, you're damn right I do.
Okay. So let's talk about his domestic abuse because you're a friend, and we hear from these women that are accusing him of this. So, like, what is your side as a friend to Jeffrey's domestic abuse allegations and charges with women?
You know, I've known him for a long time, and you guys know that I have dated him in the past. I have pushed that man and pushed his buttons more times than I can count. And if he was going to hurt anyone, he could have very well have had every opportunity to do so, and he has never laid a hand on me, ever. So I don't understand how people can sit there and say all of these things about him. It doesn't make any sense to me. Um, and I know him longer. I've known him longer than one of his ex-wives. I've known him longer than several girlfriends, and especially the one making these allegations. So there's that.
Do you interact with these? Have you interacted with these women that are accusing him of?
I've Yes, to both of the ones that I've met and interacted with. Um, they're not nice people. They're not good humans, and I say that full heartedly. They're not good humans.
So are they conspiring against him? Is that what's going?
Yep.
Yeah, they're just two terrible past girlfriends. Not good.
Um, it's a two ex-wives and a girlfriend.
Okay.
So, friend, I met her. We were at Chick-fil-A. I had taken my son through Chick-fil-A and we saw Jeffrey walking to a car. I was like, "Oh, there's Jeffrey. Go say hi." And he runs and he like scoops him up and gives him a big hug and he's like, "It's so good to see you," whatever. And he's like, "Jeffrey, Jeffrey." Um, and Jeffrey's just kind of acting weird and I walk up. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? It's good to see you," whatever. And he's just acting so strange and I'm like, there's a girl here. I could just tell. And I just like, okay, well, we'll let you go and get back to what you're doing. And then we go back to the car, and then she gets behind me on the car, and she's just ranting and raving. I mean, I could see her in my rear view mirror just going off on him for nothing, and he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there. And, she's so close on my tail that I can literally see her pointing her fingers and just yelling at him down the interstate. Well, it was the road. That wasn't at the interstate at the time. But yeah, just giving him hell because and I asked him later what it was about, and she said that, or he's told me that it was because he thought, or she thought that that was one of his kids, and that I was an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend or whatever, and she didn't like it.
So Jeffrey's never put his hands on a woman that you know of, but then three women got together and said, "Let's just make up this lie," and that he's a woman abuser.
So I don't know exactly. I don't know what they said. All I know is what I know with Jeffrey. I know that he never laid his hands on the ex-wife. I don't really know much about their relationship on that. I don't know. But I know Jeffrey's character, and I know that he did not hurt this ex-girlfriend. I know that he didn't, because we've spoken several times after the fact, after it happened. He told me the whole thing. He's like, I just don't understand. Um, and I know this girl, I know her character, and I've seen lots of things with Jeffrey. Text message text messages come through that I've read right there in the moment. He's like, this is what I have to deal with. She's not a good human. She's just not.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, here's a question that came through. Did TLC pay you for being on the show?
um, I will say this. I do not have an NDA.
Oh, that's the first one that's been on this show with no NDA. Thank God. Okay, so you were just on the show. You were not like
I am not contracted with TLC.
okay. Do you not want to say if you were paid?
No.
Okay. It's all right. You're not the first person to dodge questions. I understand. I know these are very personal. Um,
Yes.
so, I mean, how do you feel about? You did watch your episodes and your parts, right? So, how do you feel about the way you were edited? Were you edited fairly, or is there more to the story that we should know?
The only one that I watched, I'll be honest, the only one I watched was the very first episode. That's it. The rest of them were too much. The rest of them brought back a lot of emotions, so I didn't watch them. But I watched the first one.
Okay, and
So I know if it portrayed me correctly. Not really. Everyone says I look desperate. So I don't know. I'll say this. The first episode, everyone's like, oh my God, you just threw yourself at him, blah, blah, blah. That's the funniest thing because Jeffrey and I have an inside joke that most don't know. So anytime that we find out that the other one is with someone or find out that they're dating, we're like, well, why am I not good enough? Well, why don't you just date me? Well, why don't you just marry me? And it's just like this jab inside joke that we have. So I made it at an inappropriate time, and then it just kind of bloomed from there. So,
hey, baby girl, Lisa. Lisa's here watching too.
oh,
Um, okay, so is it true? Because when I first interviewed Jeffrey, who was I think the first person from this cast to come on, he said that you spent the night with him. Like you guys went on a date and you spent the night at his house, and you were there when Varya showed up because you were there from the night before. Is that true?
yes.
Okay. Did you have sex with Jeffrey that night?
Dude, I don't kiss and tell. That's rude.
Give it a shot. I just wanted to say, okay. But you did spend the night, and then obviously, so that was all very raw and real.
Hmm.
You know, he said that you guys were drinking a little bit, and then
Yeah.
you crashed there.
And yeah, we were drinking. That's why I stayed. I don't drink a lot. Um, but when I do, a couple gives me a headache anymore, and I get migraines fairly easily. So if I have a couple, I just have to go ahead and just sleep it off because it just hurts so bad. So
Gotcha. So yeah, gotcha. Okay. So then when she came to the door, like, did you guys have any heads up that someone is coming? Or, I mean,
no, I knew. See, we were supposed to have brunch, and that's kind of where that kind of left off. We were supposed to have brunch. We were supposed to go have, fun or whatever, hang out, and then meet up with our friends later that day. That was kind of the plans for the day. I know he said he had filming or something to do, but um, I don't. It's been so long ago. I don't remember what all was supposed to happen that day, other than we were going to go eat. Then we were doing hanging out with our friends later. That's pretty much what I remember. So.
but you and Jeffrey have dated, so you've been intimate and like you've dated Jeffrey, and you guys have been intimate in the past. Is that the status?
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I can't. I mean, yeah, we dated, so it didn't last a week. And it's been off and on. So I don't want to talk about my sex life. Can we move on?
I know it's interesting though. Okay. So
Oh,
okay, when was the last time that you were officially Jeffrey's girlfriend?
that day.
Oh, so you guys were like that day. You were like, "Hey, we're dating again."
That day, no, see, at dinner was when we had decided that we were going to try again. Like, well, not really. We had talked about it before, and then we just kind of solidified it at dinner. So, yeah, we were dating as far as I knew, and we were trying to grow that relationship. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we were with that. But yeah, that day's pretty much what solidified it. That day's what said, no, we're done.
So you guys were pretty much together. She shows up, and then from I know you didn't watch the episodes, but from we saw, she just totally took over, and it because that's why the fans are commenting so much. Is that it just seemed like he was like, all right, well, see you, Mary. Varya's here.
And I can't sugarcoat that one for him. I can't. I mean, as much as I love him and, uh, you know, stand by him, but I can't sugarcoat that one. That's exactly what happened.
Are
You
you still
know,
in love with Jeffrey?
uh, um, I still have love for Jeffrey. We'll say that. I'll answer that for you.
Have you been receiving death threats? Because everyone else
Yeah,
has.
I have. That I should just commit suicide and kill myself, that the world would be better off. Yeah.
Does it? I mean, does that? Even though it's from a stranger, like, does that hurt, or is it? Do you just?
I'm actually tearing up now. So give me a second.
Okay.
Um, that's just mean.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that they realize how that really affects people. You don't say stuff like that to people. You just don't. It's harsh and it's cruel. And yes, I'm a big baby. I know people are like, wow, oh my God, you're a crybaby. Yeah, okay. I have feelings. I'm a human. Um, but yeah, and I have children. And I think that's what hurts more so than anything is that I'm here for a purpose. I have kids. I'm trying to raise two amazing humans. My daughter is almost 18. And, I had to be an example for her. I try to show kindness where I can, and I try to be the human that I want my children to be. And it's hard, absolutely. I mean, I struggle every day just like everyone else. But the death threats are absolutely unnecessary, and it's silly.
When they say
So
something like that, like you should just kill yourself, and I don't know, and I don't. I mean, is that something? Did you ever struggle with that? Because that would really be a trigger.
I did. I'm um when I was younger, for sure. I think some of you have, you saw the arrest or whatever. That was probably one of the lowest points of my life. And I struggled so hard, and I was not in a good place mentally. So of course that is a trigger.
We did 90-day matchmaker the other day, and a lot of people matched you up with Tom or with Ash. Hey, is Darcy here? I see everyone saying, "Hey, Darcy." So, would you ever be interested in dating someone else from the cast, or are you even attracted to them?
I don't know who Tom is. Sorry. Who's Tom?
Tom is the guy. He's from England. He was in a
Oh,
relationship with
with
Darcy. Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Uh, Tom and Ash. Wow, wow. I mean, Ash, I think, is a phenomenal human from what I can see, what I've seen. I mean, I don't know him, but sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I think Ash is attractive. Absolutely. I think Ash is extremely attractive.
But would you do you and Ash a 90-day fiance again? Is that a possibility?
I don't think I can answer this. Honestly, this show wasn't really about me. and I appreciate people like you taking the time to talk to me or whatever. So thank you. But the story was about Jeffrey and his story and Varya's story and Tom's and Darcy's and several other people's. You know, Ash and his pretty girlfriend, Avery. That's her name. Sorry.
Done. They're broken up.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
So you know, so that's their lives and their stories, and they were the main people. I just was a casualty, I guess is the best way to say that.
That's awesome. Oh, so where are you right now? What state are you in?
You're trying to catch me in something, aren't
Good job. Good job, Mary. Don't answer that because you don't want to say the wrong state because we'll be able to connect some pieces.
you? Mm-hmm.
Bart,
Yeah.
trained you well. I'm sure he's right there next to you. Okay. All right, Mary, you have done good. You answered most of the questions, and the ones that you didn't, I don't blame you. So I appreciate you coming on. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Mary, you're great. Follow her on Instagram. Until next time, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.